Welcome back to another video. It is Sunday the 28th of December, I think. It is 5:30 in the evening. I am so out of routine. I have no idea what's going on. The only way I know what day of the week we're on is just from the fact whether I'm training or not. But I'm having a really good kind of chilled few days, kind of post-Christmas. I am still off work until the 2nd, although I think I will log on the 1st, on New Year's Day, and just get more like back-end admin-y stuff done and sorted, ready to go, because there's a few bits that I didn't get done before my break. But I am actually off. I'm actually enjoying it. I am feeling like, it's a really weird feeling when I wake up in the morning and I don't have to do anything by a certain time, and my brain really struggles with that. Like even today, part of me felt quite stressed because I was like, well, I want to take Zuko on a couple of walks today. I need to train. What time am I going to do things? And I was like, it literally doesn't matter what time I do anything because I have the entire day. It's not like I'm stuck to, like, I think I would find it easier if I had like a gym I was traveling to that shut at a certain time or only had limited opening hours, because I could like know I had to be at this place for this time. But I'm someone that really thrives in routine. So not having any kind of rules of what time I have to do things and stuff, it just feels really odd. But I am enjoying just actually mentally switching off. Like I've honestly just been sat in front of the TV so much the last few days, but I've been really enjoying it. Like Zuko will like curl up on the sofa with me and we'll just spend our days like that, and it's just been really nice. I've hardly been on my phone at all, which has been lovely. I've done some social things the last few days as well, so that's been really good. And yeah, I'm having a really lovely break, actually. I am back at work on the 2nd, but I will probably log back on the 1st and just go and kind of get some more like non-client facing bits done that I've been wanting to get done. But to be honest, I might even do some tomorrow and then have a few more days off. I don't know yet, but I have avoided going in my office. I kind of set a ban that I'm not allowed back in my office, technically until I go back to work, but I might go in there tomorrow and do some bits. But haven't actually sat in my office for days now, which I think I definitely needed. It's been a very amazing year for work, but I definitely needed a bit of a break over Christmas. I'm glad I'm having it. I don't really have any updates, because I haven't really been doing anything. Obviously, nutrition's not been great over the Christmas period, and to be honest, we've just got no food in the house. I really need to do a food shop. I really don't want to do a food shop, but I know the closer to New Year it gets, the busier the supermarkets are going to be, so I need to just kind of suck it up and get it done probably tomorrow, and get back in routine. I have got some food out of the freezer, some meat out of the freezer that I want to meal prep tonight, just to get more backlog kind of cooked up. But I'm feeling ready to get back in routine. I think for me, I'm going to struggle to fully get back in routine until I'm back working and stuff, but that's not the end of the world. Like, I'm so rigid with my routine all year round. It's fine to slack off on it over this time of year. Like, we all have to at times, like, just switch off. And this was definitely kind of a long overdue switch off for me, I think. But I'm enjoying it. All is good. I'm feeling good. Not feeling ready to train. I'm very glad this didn't land on my week 4, like this holiday period. I mean, it's literally week 4 next week. But I've not wanted to train all week, if I'm being completely honest. Obviously, I'm still doing it. And I know once I get in the routine and like start warming up and stuff, like I'll be totally fine. But I'm just not feeling motivated to train. But that's obviously not a problem. And it's not an uncommon way to feel this time of year. Like, it's a time for resting. And although I am still training and I enjoy training when I get into it, I just don't really want to. But I said that last session or the session before last, and I really enjoyed my session. I had my very light squats and tempo bench on Friday, and that all moved really well. Squats felt the most natural they have since moving back to flats, so I'm actually quite excited to see how squats feel today. So for last week, on week 2 of the block, I did actually overshoot this session on squats. So basically I have ascending 4s, and last week my final set of ascending 4 was supposed to be an RP6, but it was more like a 7, maybe even a 7.5. So when I spoke to Lewis about that last week, he did just say, honestly, just repeat the load this week, maybe go up by 5 if you do feel good, but it's obviously not a drama. The target for the top set this week is an RP7, so the final set of 4 will be about an RP7, so probably what I hit last week, which I think was 165, should be about right. But if I'm feeling good, I might go up to like 170, but I'll definitely cap myself there. I'm also just kind of being kind to myself, and like I've said this in multiple videos since comp, like it's my first block post comp, I don't need to push, I can just kind of enjoy it, take it a little bit slower. I don't need to put my foot on the gas at the moment, I just need to tick the boxes that I can. So yeah, I'll just kind of gauge it by how I feel warming up, I guess. But yeah, no other updates. It is just a very non-eventful, kind of boring time of year. Actually, to be fair, there is one small update. So if you watch previous videos, you'll know I've been having an issue with my hamstring/glute area for a while. It is feeling terrible, and it probably is because I've been sitting down more, like with being on the sofa and stuff. I have been actively trying to get up quite a lot and walk around and not sit for too long at a time. But yesterday we went on like an hour and 15-minute dog walk, which isn't a crazy long dog walk. It's a longer dog walk that we would take Zuko on, like just in our normal routine, but my leg was not coping very well. Like every step, it felt like my left leg was just like so heavy, and my whole hamstring, like literally all the way from like the back of my knee all the way up to my glute, was really painful. It's not felt good today. It felt a bit better after the dog walk today, so today we're doing two shorter dog walks to try and help it not feel as bad. But I guess we'll kind of see how it feels when I start warming up. It feels okay right at this moment, so fingers crossed it feels fine during the session. But obviously I'll just see how things go. I think tempo squats earlier in the week might be part of what's causing the irritation, just because of the time under tension. And when I was doing my tempo squats earlier this week, I did notice that I could feel it on the descent, which I don't normally feel it while I'm lifting. I'm just aware of it like the rest of the time. So that might be something to just kind of visit after this block. But for now, I'm just going to keep going, keep pushing through. It's not something that I think I said previously, it's not something I think is going to get significantly worse or cause any major issues. It's just an annoyance. I would rather not be there. And I would like to be able to walk my dog and not be in pain, because I have to walk him every day. So yeah, but anyway, that's the only update. But yeah, overall things are good. I'm enjoying having a break / missing being in routine at the same time. But I think that's how most people feel this time of year, when they, like, if people enjoy Christmas and stuff. So it is what it is. I will stop talking and I will crack on with the session and show you guys what I end up hitting.
Okay. I see across the room, X marked on the spot, everybody tryna zoom. This is casual, another night with the wolves, but I should be dealing with them, she's a damn professional. Making plays for, don't need to be told, yeah she knows. Got these fellas down bad and everybody else mad. Adrenaline rush, leaving them in the dust, now they converting the stands. The world is in her hands now, she's living in my head rent free, burning through my long-term memory. Everybody racing in her Grand Prix, they know if they don't take a chance now. Gonna stay woke, no sleep, run it back real slow, is that a wink? She's cold as ice, sugar-coated lies with the honey trap eyes. She's dangerous, she's dancing with intention, she's got everyone's attention.
Okay, so just finished squats and they actually went better than planned. I feel like every time I say, oh, I'm going to just take it easy, first block post-comp, like it's Christmas time, let's just take it easy, I end up just doing the opposite. 170 was not actually, I was kind of telling myself the range for my top end today was like 165 to 170, but I fully intended to just cap myself at 165 and if anything undershoot. But I did the 160 for my second descending set of 4, so I did 150s to 160. And I basically wanted to give myself the option of taking a 10 kilo jump to 170 if I wanted to and if I felt good. And I just sort of sat there after the 160 set of 4 and was like, that felt miles better than your last, like, penultimate set last week, like my 155 I think I did last week. Squats are feeling more natural today than they have done on this session all block. Why not just load 170? Like, it's meant to be an RP7. Yes, it will be hard, but RP7 doesn't mean easy. And I locked in for it. Put my headband on, got my hair out of my face, which makes the world of difference lately. And yeah, I was really happy with the 170 set of 4, actually. I don't think things are moving as well as they possibly could be, but it's just like, this happens every year, like at Christmas time. Obviously, like, diet just goes out the window. I'm eating a lot more processed food than normal. My body feels awful for it as well. Like, not even just like I feel a bit bloated or anything. Like, generally I just feel very inflamed. And I always notice when my diet isn't great, I get a lot more like, kind of like a pump sensation around my lower back, and I think it's like an inflammation thing that comes partly from linked in with my diet. And like, I don't normally eat really much processed foods at all. Maybe like 10% of my diet at most is like processed foods. Normally, like everything else, I kind of just cook from scratch, and generally like minimal ingredient kind of diet and a lot of whole foods. And obviously it's not been like that the last week or so. And I can really feel it in my training. And I think that's probably partly why I've not wanted to come out and train this week as well. Like, not even just the fact that it's been a more chilled week and I've just wanted to be lazy. Like, I know my sessions aren't going to feel great. And like, my body feels so beat up from squatting, which it shouldn't do, because none of those loads were overly heavy. And it's like I shouldn't, it's minimal volume. It's literally 3 ascending sets of 4 and 1 back off set of 5 at 155. I didn't actually film, and that even felt way harder than it should have. Like, my body isn't feeling great, and I'm very aware of it. I'm hoping that this will give me the motivation to just lock back in for week 4 of the block starting tomorrow. And I'm sure it will. Like I said earlier, I'm meal prepping tonight. I've already got some meals in the freezer as well that I can get out. I need to do a food shop tomorrow as well. And that will obviously help me make sure I've got everything in that I need. Like, even if I don't stick to my food 100%, like, I just need to start getting more, like, actual whole foods back in my diet, because I've just been snacking the last few days. And yeah, it's just not been good, and my training is suffering because of it, and I hate that my training is suffering because of it. Even though it's normal and it's fine to have periods like this, like, for me, I just hate it. And, like, my hips really crampy as well, which won't be linked to my diet. It will just be one of those things. But, like, I just don't feel good. And the only thing within my control I can do to make myself feel better is sort my food out and my nutrition out and lock that back in. And I'm really hoping this is going to be that motivation to do that. So, yeah, I'm mixed feelings on squats. Like, I'm really happy I managed to load that much, and my squat is definitely feeling better in flats. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel with my hamstring issue, and also my right ankle is the one that is, like, it normally struggles quite a lot when I swap back to flats, and it has been feeling quite tight, but warming up it felt a little bit tight, but actually it felt pretty good, and I feel like I've found a really good in-between stance for me. So I'm normally quite a narrow squatter. Since going back to flats this time around, I just don't feel like I have the leverages to squat narrow. Like, I think my body's a little bit too large for that at the moment, which is fine. And my ankle mobility and stuff isn't good enough for that at the moment either. So I was doing a wider stance, and it felt okay. But then the start of this week, on session 2 of this week, I think it was, it just didn't feel right at all. Like, it felt really awkward and off. And I was like, okay, well, I don't want to be reactive, but I'm just going to kind of take it one session at a time. Friday being my really light squat day, I played around with it a little bit more, and I played around at 70 kilos before I started my actual squats, and just sort of saw what felt best. And I'm kind of like an in-between stance right now, and I think that's kind of where I should be, at least for now, until I can handle a bit more of a narrow stance. So I think that also helped me feel a little bit more powerful and stronger today. So yeah, I'm not mad at how they moved. I'm just like, I'm mad at myself for slacking so much on my nutrition, even though I'm not mad at myself for it, because it's the time of year and it's the first time all year I've really done this. But yeah, I want to lock back in. I need to lock back in, because I hate training feeling like this. Like, I like my training to feel good. And the reason I'm so consistent with training and, like, generally my numbers and stuff are pretty predictable is because everything is, like, locked in year round. So when something isn't locked in, I notice it very quickly. So yeah, that's what I really want to say on squats. But yeah, overall they're fine. My hip is just feeling a little bit crampy right now, which is actually my healthy side of my leg. So that's also annoying. But it'll be fine. I've got bench now. I've got a top double. You can see how I feel. Bench hasn't felt great so far this week, but I'm kind of just hoping that it'll feel good for the primary session, which is today. So we'll just see how I feel warming up. I did 107.5 for a double last week. I would like to be able to go heavier than that this week. I think it's an RP 7.5 target, I think. I haven't loaded it up to check. So we'll see. But even if I hit 107.5 again, that's still decent. When Lewis first wrote this block, he said to me to aim for like a 110 double on the final week of the block. I took that as a challenge to end higher than that, so we'll just kind of see how things go.
They wanna get a number on a roulette. Tryna find an opening. Roll the dice, cold sweat running down my neck. She be on the next victim. Get caught in a web. Got these fellas spending all they got left. She be keeping the score like a follow ratio. Got these fellas praying to the Lord for a glimpse of any hope. She bad, she broke, straight unpredictable, straight irresistible. She got me in a slow. She's living in my head, rent free. Better through my long-term memory. Everybody racing in a Grand Prix.
Okay, so bench went far better than I expected. 112 for a double was my goal. After last week, I hit 107.5 last week, and I think the target RP was like a 6.5, and it literally was like less than a 6. Like, it felt like an empty bar. But I felt really good last week, so that's the difference. Whereas squats, I didn't feel incredible. My body's just not feeling overly healthy right now. I was like, match 107 and you'll still be happy kind of thing. But deep down, I actually wanted 112. So I warmed up and I took 107.5 as my last warm up, with the kind of thinking of, if it doesn't move great, just do 2 reps, call it a day, move on to your back offset. But no, 107 felt like the unrack felt heavy. I was considering getting my boyfriend out to give me a lift off tonight, because I knew I wanted to go quite heavy. But honestly, I just wanted to get on with it. So I just kind of cracked on my own, and yeah, 107.5 felt really comfortable. Like the arm rack felt quite heavy, but the actual movement, like the press and everything was really smooth. So I went to 112. It wasn't super paused, I won't lie, but it moved really comfortably, and I'm pretty sure that matches my best ever double, and I haven't hit that in probably over a year, so very happy with that. And it leaves room for next week to go even heavier and maybe PB my double, or even just to hit it 2 weeks in a row would be pretty cool. So we will see. But I would say it was pretty bang on RP 7.5, which was the target. So really, really happy with that. And yeah, super, super happy. No complaints. Then I did 105 for a set of 4 for my first back off set. I think the target RP was about a 7. It was probably about that, maybe a little bit less. So really happy with that. And then I just had 3x4 set load at 90, which was just super comfortable. So very happy with that. I am now moving on to Sumo, and I'm not overly excited for this. I've got a paused single, back off set of 4. I'm not sure what the RPE target is. I need to check that still. But I did like 145 last week, I think. I'm probably going to cap myself at like 150 for the set of 7, simply because my hip's very crampy still, and my hamstring issue, and just honestly, I don't need to push these crazy hard this block. Having said that, if I feel good, I might go a little bit heavier, but 150 for a set of 7 on Sumo would still be pretty cool. That leaves me room next week to maybe hit something quite nice for a set of 7. And then I've got like 2x7 really light, I think, after like 120, 125-ish, I would imagine. It depends what I do for my first set of 7, but should be fine. There is no load cap for my pause single this week. Last week, my load cap was 160. I'm probably going to warm up with the idea of loading around 165, but if I hit 160 again with better execution than the last couple of weeks, I will be happy. Sumo right now, the goal is just to get my technique refined, so we'll just see how I feel going through, but can't complain. Bench went really well. I'm getting through this session in okay time. Just kind of feeling a little bit slow in myself, but that's not really a surprise. But yeah, no complaints from me. Gonna stop talking and crack on with Sumo.
Don't take a chance now. Finna stay woke, no sleep. Run it back real slow. Was that a win? She's cold as ice, sugar-coated lies with the honey trap eyes. She's dangerous. She's dancing with intention. She's got everyone's attention. She's dangerous. They wanna get a number on a roulette, and they trying their luck, trying luck. They really wanna be the one she loves, but there she goes back.
Okay, so incredibly out of breath. I've literally just finished my final set of 7 on deadlifts. Main takeaway from Sumo is that 7s suck, but everything moved fine. My 150 execution wasn't the best, but honestly it was just me rushing. But really happy with the single, 167 paused. Did 160, and actually the 167 felt easier than the 160, but I didn't want to go up again because I just thought leave it there. It was probably slightly below the target RP, but that's good. So very out of breath. Yeah, nothing else to really say. Everything moves as it should. I did rush. Keep motivation up when I'm not feeling the best in general anyway, just because of obviously like the nutrition stuff that I've already spoken about, and like the few niggles and stuff that my body has. Keep motivation up to then do deadlift 7s at the end of an SBD day is not very easy, but getting it done regardless, and yeah, everything will be fine. 150 for 7 might even be a deadlift PB like conventional or sumo, so I'm not going to complain. I'm also covered in chalk, but that's fine. Anyway, I need to get in and walk my dog. This session has been pretty slow, to be honest, actually. I very much slowed down when deadlift started, but it's fine. Oh my goodness. Yeah, happy. Need to sort my nutrition out because I shouldn't be this out of breath either. But that'll be next week's kind of goal, especially with it going into week 4. I want to make sure everything is locked in as possible. Obviously, I won't be super strict because it is still kind of the holiday season, and I've got more social plans and stuff that involve food this week, but I have got less, so that is kind of what I'm thinking. Anyway, I will stop talking because hearing me be out of breath is probably also really irritating for people to listen to. Thank you if you made it to the end. Please be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in a few days for the next one.
All of these hearts can't seem to say